And welcome back. As you know, we're talking about successful businesses in the Middle Tennessee area, particularly African American businesses. And you heard some of the numbers earlier about the growth that Black businesses experiencing over the last few years. Well, now we're going to talk to Emanuel Roland II, who is the owner of Rolands Photography in this area. And thanks so much for being here and sharing your story with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
13 years ago, you decided you were going to step out and start something that I guess was a passion for you, and that is photography. Talk a little bit about the beginnings of Rolands Photography.
Well, Rolands Photography was kind of something that God put in place. I was actually a student at Tennessee State University. During my studies, one of our senior projects was to develop a business plan. At that time, I was studying photography as some elective classes, kind of had a natural gifting for it, and I said, you know, this could be something viable for me to do, and you know, I wrote the business plan, got, you know, rave reviews from my teacher and, you know, other classmates, and here we are now.
Putting it on paper is a little different than actually doing the job, right? So
so
how do you translate that plan? Although it makes sense to have a business plan in place first, have it in your head, have it on paper. But how do you translate that plan into a successful business?
It takes time. It takes, you know, getting connected with individuals who understand business, and you know, they don't necessarily have to be in the same type of business that you're in, but, you know, just putting some foundations in place. You know, understanding who your target market is, you know, educating yourself on the type of business that you're doing, and look at other businesses that do what you do and try to model yourself after them.
You took advantage of service in the area, the incubation process, the incubation center, in order to grow and expand your business. Talk a little bit about how that came about.
So the Nashville Business Incubation Center is where we're located. We were blessed with the opportunity to move in there in 2010. That was something that, for me, I actually interned there when I was a student at TSU, so I had was familiar with what they did for businesses, and so when the opportunity came available for me to move in, I saw that they had the same suite that I interned in, and so I moved in there, and they've given us the opportunity to, you know, expand our business, learn how to utilize other individuals for things that, you know, I'm not necessarily gifted at. You know, accounting is not necessarily my strong suit, so they've got me connected with an accountant. You know, they've shown me that I needed to look in terms of having a receptionist, someone to, you know, take some of the load off of myself, so I'm not trying to be, you know, be it all to everyone.
There's this little phrase of working in the business and working on the business,
Yes.
and the disparity between the two. It sounds like being at the incubation center has given you the opportunity to say, hey, here's what I can hire out, for instance. Here's what I can do to make sure that I'm not, you know, as they say, answering the phones and turning out the lights and scrubbing the floors and filing the files and all that kind of stuff, right?
For so many years I was doing that. I was, you know, doing everything. And in order for me to grow, you know, I have to be out, you know, doing more in the community. You know, I need to be able to shoot more events, but if I'm sitting at the desk, you know, editing photos, you know, answering phone calls, you know, we're not growing. And so for a business to grow, you know, you need to learn to separate yourself from the business at some points and allow those who are gifted at certain things to come in and assist you.
Talk about how you also have to separate yourself from the competition, because although I don't know the numbers, I can probably guess that there are a number of photography professionals in this area that do everything from, as I said, it's senior picture time, so senior pictures to weddings to events to shooting for the newspaper, for instance. So how do you set yourself apart from that competition as a small business owner, or as a business owner?
Well, for us, I mean, we had, you know, for myself, I had to, you know, find where the areas that I was most gifted at, and you know, kind of target ourselves, you know, like you said, there are so many photographers, there's so many areas of photography that we could go into, to whereas I had to realize, or see which areas that I most enjoyed. So, we do weddings is one of the big, things that we do. We do a lot of corporate photography, as well as we do the high school seniors, as well as the college students. And, we've been able to kind of separate ourselves just because of, how professional we are with our clients, how we provide our clients with more of a photographic experience. It's not just you come into our studio, we take your pictures, and you go on your way. But we actually do a consultation where we sit down and talk with our clients about their interests as a family, if it's for family portraits, so we can possibly go out into the community and shoot something that will bless the couple, and they will enjoy the experience of having pictures taken as a family and enjoy, the whole experience. And it's not just, oh, we had pictures by Rolands Photography, but, we had a great time just enjoying each other out in the park, or, we may go out on the lake, or it might just be at their home, but it was more than just taking pictures.
When you look back on your 13 years, what do you look and see or count as one of your top successes?
Ooh, that's a big one.
And maybe there's so many of them that you can't count them all, huh?
I guess one of the big successes for us is really just still being in business, and still being a name that people trust when it comes to photography. When I have clients from 10 years ago that have held on to my business card, they may have had a child that is getting ready to get married, and they said, I've held on to this business card over these years, and I said that when my child got married, I wanted you to be the photographer. And that's been probably one of the biggest, milestones for me to have somebody to say, you know what, I believe in you that much that I've held on to this card that long.
Wow.
So.
And then what were some of the key learnings as other business owners sort of learn from how you've succeeded? What would you say would be some of the things that they should look out for, not fall in those, make those mistakes that perhaps business owners often make?
I would think probably the biggest one is to, again, not try to do it all, not try to be all to everyone. Find your strengths and utilize those, and bring others in to help to grow your business. And that's probably one of the biggest things that we're striving towards. Is I'm actually currently working on a team of other photographers that I'm working with to build my team to make us more successful.
In the next 5-10 years, people have these goals set, right? These milestones that they're going to accomplish this by this year, this by that year. What does the future look like for you and for Rolands Photography?
I think for us, again, we just want to be a branded name in families' homes, where Rolands Photography is the company that they strive to utilize for their photography needs, be it for weddings, be it for family portraits, even in the corporate world. We want to be that photography company that people seek out.
It's rolandsphotography.net is the web address.
That's
and how
correct.
else can people get in touch with you?
Well, they can call us at 615-242-7907, or they can, connect with us on all social media outlets through Rolands Photography.
All right, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll wrap things up. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us. Great job. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll give the websites again of Rolands Photography, and also the Cupcake Collection. And 244-2900. Thank you. So I'll just sort of recap a little bit. Will that work? Oh, okay. Only if you want to. She won't. I don't think she will. I didn't say, okay.
Which camera should we show it on?
I don't know. You want me to take it off? I can take it off.
Okay, yeah. Guess set it on the table.
Let me set it. Okay. This is probably too tiny to be on a table. I was going to do a quick little business update. Do you know John Mahomes?
That's it.
Holmes Pest Control.
Okay.
She's an African American woman that owns Holmes Pest Control.
And is this one of her?
This is her new
new
thing. She's taking the business in a
fun.
completely different direction.
How's she gonna do pest control? Now she's doing jewelry.
Yeah,
Pest- okay,
with pests on it.
pest. I'll leave it up to her.
She's gonna make it work.
All right, stand by.
All right. He's here.
Oh, I'll just stay in here.
He's out here in the studio.
5, 4, 3.
And I want to thank both of my guests for being on the show today. As you know, we've been talking about successful businesses in the Middle Tennessee area. We had Emanuel Francois on, who is the owner of the Cupcake Collection, which is in Germantown. But also, if you remember, she said you can get all your ordering done, and she'll even ship it to you if you go to that website, thecupcakecollection.com. And also Emanuel Roland II, who is the owner of Rolands Photography. That website is rolandsphotography.net. Also, the phone number there is 615-242-7907, correct? Is that phone number there? So thank you so much for being with us, and also
you so
want to
much
thank
for
the
having us.
Cupcake Collection crew for being there. And just a quick little business update. You may remember a friend of the show, John Mahomes, who owns Holmes Pest Control. She's been on a couple of different times. Well, you might say she's taken her company in a little bit of a different direction, but still focused on those pesky little pests that she has to deal with when she's in homes. But now she's got a new collection of jewelry that, of course, features some of those very prominent little pests that she sometimes deals with, and she's put them in a very beautiful sort of way there in her new jewelry with lots of little crystals and stuff. So quick little business update. Holmes Pest Control, you can just look on her website there, and I'm sure she'll have all sorts of information, or check her blog out and she'll tell you all about it. Thank you again for being with us today. Make sure you check out those businesses. As you know, businesses are growing around the country, but also here in the Middle Tennessee area, and I'm sure all of the business owners, particularly minority business owners in the Middle Tennessee area, would appreciate a visit. The National Black Chamber of Commerce here, the Nashville Black Chamber of Commerce here, has lots of information, as well as a directory of black businesses. Even Mocha Market is a magazine that features a lot of the black businesses in town. So a number of resources for you if you're interested. Thank you again for being with us. We'll see you again next time.